Hey up everybody, hope you're all well. Right, today I will be making a cauliflower and broccoli cheese. Another nice simple recipe, but full of goodness. And again, this is the third one of my vegetarian dishes for this week. So right, I'll show you the ingredients and we'll get cracking with it. Okay, so obviously we have one head of cauliflower. I've got some tender stem broccoli there. You want 60 grams of butter, some olive oil, salt and pepper, 250 mils of milk, 250 mils of cream, some plain flour. I'll tell you the measurements when we're doing that, when we're doing the roux bit. Some whole grain mustard, some cheddar cheese, some Gruyere cheese, very nice, and some nutmeg, and that is it. So right, we'll get started and we'll get going with it. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've just took the leaves off. Well, I thought I took all the leaves off the cauliflower, I obviously haven't. Right, so we're going to make these into florets basically. Just going to try and cut the core out. And the florets are going to go into this bowl. So you get the gist, you sort of keep going round and round until it's all into florets. So I'll come back when I've finished that off. Right, so that's then done. So let's crack on with our broccoli. And there we go. So all I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take like the end bits off of these, so they're not too woody, and we can save those. You can make soup out of those, so I'll probably save those to make something else with, but you get in the picture. So I'll come back in a second when I've done this. Okay, so that is now done to my sizing. So right, all we're going to do with this now, we're actually going to roast this cauliflower. Normally you'd probably steam them, your veg, but I think this gives it a little bit of extra texture and a bit of flavour. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil onto my cauliflower. A little bit of pepper, and obviously a little bit of salt. There we go. And basically we're just going to smush these around. The technical term, that's smush. Zhuzh. Nah, zhuzh isn't really, it's smush. So that's it, make sure they're all coated nicely. Just quickly rinse my hands. And we're going to put these in the oven, or in the big kasori, because the dish that I've got will it'll fit in there. Okay, so right, I've got the cauliflower in my dish and it's going into the big kasori. I'm going to cook these for 20 minutes at 200 degrees fan, and after 10 minutes I'm going to add the broccoli in there as well. So it's a case of, there we go, ground zone, roast, 200 for 20 minutes, press play and away we go. Right, so it's coming up to 10 minutes. As you can see, that's getting a little bit of colour on there. So I'm going to go in with, just knock the tripod there. I'm going to add my broccoli for the last 10 minutes. So there we go. We'll come back in 10, a nanosecond for use. Okay, so that's had its 10 minutes. Nice bit of colour on there. So on to the next bit, which will be the sauce. Right, so now on to the sauce bit. So I have 250 ml of cream, 250 ml of milk. You can just use milk if you want. So just double the milk up. I have 60 grams of butter in there, which I've just warmed up. And I'm now going to start to make the roux. Well, that's still warming up nice and gently. And we have 3.5 tablespoons of plain flour. And I'm going to add that to my butter. And I'm going to quickly, hold on, mix this together. And you keep stirring this to form a roux. It goes to like a paste, dewy consistency. Well, you'll see anyway. It starts to form pretty quickly. That butter was quite warm. Oh yeah, you know, I keep forgetting that that's there. I've just head butted that again. The times I've done that. Right, so that's nicely come together. As you can see that. There we go. So this is quite warm now. So I'm going to turn the milk, if I can get the right one, off. And I'm going to add about half of this milk cream into here. And give it a stir and keep stirring it. Yeah, it goes a bit lumpy, and it will do. All you've got to do is just give it some love. I can see it thickening up straight away. I can feel it on the spoon. That is thickening up quite nicely, as you can see. It's starting to thicken back up again. There we go, look at that. So, in with the other half of our milk and cream mixture. There we go. And again, just do exactly the same. Until it all comes together, basically. I mean, it looks lumpy there, but you see how quickly it turns. Look at that. So I'm going to turn that off. Off the heat now. And I'm going to add our mustard. This is whole grain mustard. If you don't like mustard, just leave it out, but I'm going to put in a big, generous blob. That's a dessert spoonful of Dijon. Sorry, whole grain, not Dijon. Whole grain mustard. You can put, like I say, any mustard in there. It's the same with the cheese that you want to use. You can use any cheese you like. There we go. And it's now in with our cheese, which is 100 grams of Gruyere and 100 grams of just normal cheddar. And then there's some extra to go in on the topping. So that's all going to go in there. I'm going to mix that in. Like I say, this is off the heat now. It has gone very thick, so I might add a little splash more of milk into there, because that has gone very thick. Give me a second, guys, and I'll get some milk out of the fridge. I'm just going to add a little bit more, just to loosen it up a little bit. See what that goes like. Just loosened it off a little bit. I'll just put a little splash more in. There we go, that's loosened that off quite a bit. So, next, a little salt and pepper. Just a little bit. Not loads, just a little bit. Little salt and pepper. There we go, and then it's a little grating of nutmeg. Fresh nutmeg. Just to give it that little bit of a, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. Just a little bit. Get that stirred in. Right, so that is the sauce just about done. Okay, so I've put the sauce on top of all the broccoli and cauliflower. Spread it all out evenly, and just in case there wasn't enough cheese, I'll just sprinkle a little bit more Gruyere and cheddar on the top. And I'm going to cover this in foil. It's going to go in the oven, 180 fan, for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. But for the last 10 minutes, I will take the foil off and just let it bubble up. So there we go, I will take you over to the kasori. So there we go, tin foil's on. Into the kasori. Grand zone. Bake. 180, I'm going to do it for 20 minutes. And then I will put it in for a further 10 minutes just to brown the top off and take the tin foil off. So there we go. Come back in a second. Right, okay, so I had a few problems with the tin foil. I couldn't get it to stay on. So I've lowered the temperature down to 160 and I've done it for 25 minutes altogether. So that is it, all ready. So I'm going to bring it out, let it cool down a little bit, and then it'll be, I'll serve it up. Taste testing time. Right, so there we have it. That is my cauliflower and broccoli cheese, and I've just sprinkled some parsley on the top. So, you know what time it is? It's triple tea time. Right, okay, so I'm going to dish just a little bit of this up because this is dinner time now and we're going to be having this for tea. So I'm just going to have a little taste test. So I'm just going to have a little tiny little bit. Just for testing purposes, and then we can reheat it up later on. So let's dig in. There we go. Oh, that's hot, but that cheese sauce, wowzers. A cheese sauce with that whole grain mustard in. Perfect. The broccoli that I've just had there was nicely cooked. Still like that little bit of, still got that little bit of bite, but it's cooked all the way through. And there's the cauliflower, and that roasted doing the roasting process is just giving it that a little bit of depth of flavour as well, a bit extra. Oh. Again, that sauce, it's just absolutely delightful. Really, really nice. You can have that as a side, or as we're doing, we're just having it as a main dish because it's a veggie dish. That's going to be our tea tonight. And that is it. But you could serve that with so many things, with, you know, whatever you want, with some meat, whatever. It's absolutely delicious. In fact, I'm just going to finish this bit off. Again, that cheese sauce, it just makes the dish absolutely fantastic. You know it's doing you good. All them veggies in there. So, once again, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video and you fancy doing it, please give us a thumbs up. Keep your subscriptions coming if you haven't subscribed already. Keep your lovely comments coming and all your lovely recipe ideas. Keep them all coming because we really appreciate it. So that is it from me for now, and I will catch you guys very soon. So I'll catch you later. Bye.